Welcome to Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on CW11.
Hi there. Welcome to another edition of Home Track Heroes. Steve Mortland here. Next to me is Tom Glithero. And before we get started tonight, we got to talk to you about an incident that happened at the racetrack Saturday night during a Hornet B main event win. A gentleman by the name of Cameron Iverson was involved in a pretty serious, at the time, accident, and it took a lot of time to get him out, and it affected the length of the races we're going to have. So you guys are used to 75-lap races for the pro late models and 30 laps. We're going to cut them down tonight. But good news, the young man Cameron Iverson is in pretty decent shape considering what he went through, but a big shout-out to the people that helped him out. It was pretty impressive.
Well, you're right, and I mean, you don't want to do anything that make a bad situation worse.
Right.
And the worst thing you can do is trying to hurry somebody out of the car. Obviously, there's a lot of emotion, a lot of energy, and everything else that happens when someone gets hurt in a race car. It is a fact of life. Racing is a dangerous sport, but the people here at Evergreen Speedway do everything they can to make it as safe as humanly possible. And, you know, good news, it ended all well.
It did, and we really appreciate all the hard work that everybody does out here each and every week. We got a stacked show for you tonight. We're going to, Brandy Chavez is with us. We're going to be talking to some drivers. Got a lot of great racing action coming up, some pretty cool stuff ahead, and it's good to be back with you on this Sunday night here. Home Track Heroes on CW11 here at Evergreen Speedway. Let's take a few minutes, and we'll check in with Brandy Chavez.
All right, here in the pits, welcome back, Ellie Musgrave. Tell us a little bit about why this is your first race of the season.
Well, 3 months ago I went to the doctors, knew something was wrong, and they said it was a brain tumor. So I had brain surgery 3 months ago and back out of the track for the first time.
And what class are you racing today?
I'm racing street stock. I race both mini stock and street stock as well.
And who do you want to shout out for getting you to the track today?
Definitely my dad, grandpa, and that's about it.
All right, thank you so much, Ellie. All right, standing here with Jake Grant, number 19, street stock driver. You've had a little trouble with the car this season. How's she running today?
She's doing all right. It's just starting to turn for me. We've had a little bit of bad luck this year. It's a brand new car, so we're still figuring it out, still learning a little bit, but hopefully we get there today.
All right, who do you want to shout out for getting the 19 car to the track today?
Big shout out to my crew, my dad, Stein's Tap House, Brandy Hood Promotions, and special shout out to my wife and my two boys, CJ and Tyson.
All right, Jake, good luck tonight. All right, coming off his win, I'm in the pits here with Chad Fitzpatrick, driver of the number 12 Pro Late model. Tell us a little bit of difference between the Pro Late model versus the Super Late models.
So pretty much the only difference between a Super Late model and a Pro Late model for Evergreen Speedway is we're running on street stock tires.
And how hard is the setup for this week compared to last week in the sun?
You know, it's actually been more of a struggle today. We just haven't had the speed in the car all day like we have the last 3 weeks. So with the car being in the sun, it's actually faster, which normally it's the opposite. So I don't know what's going on today.
All right, anybody you want to shout out?
Yes, I want to thank my sponsors, Northland Contractors, Mazda of Everett, Powder Coating Inc., Trademark RCS, Bardall, let's see here. I think I just want to thank the rest of my crew, my dad, Sean, Dave Edgar, and just thank you for everyone who comes out every weekend.
All right, thank you for your time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
All right, Garret Kramer, the number 14 Youth Hornet car, out here on the track today. How old are you?
I'm 14 years old.
And how did you get started in racing?
My dad and grandpa both used to race out here.
And who do you want to thank for getting the car to the track today?
I'd like to thank all my sponsors, Classic Chiropractic, Reagan Earthworks, Steph's Machias Espresso, and Everett Steel, and my grandparents and parents.
All right, good luck tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, Brandy. We've got Youth Hornets coming up, and it's going to be a good one. 20 laps coming up, and as we get ready to show you the lineup, let's bring them to you. In the 17 is going to be Owen Craig outside of Owen. In the 72 car will be Keegan Krieger. Dylan Frazier will be in car number 47. Outside of Dylan in the 18 car is Brooklyn Bender. The 19 car will be driven by Scarlett Fisher, and in the 14, brought to you by Regan Earthworks, is Garret Kramer.
In row 4, inside the 163, it's Annika Duncan. She's sponsored by Olympic Embroidery. Outside of her in the 20 car will be Riley Riddell, and bringing up the back row in the 46 car, it's Jackson Beckel, and outside of Jackson is Haley Constance, Joe's Racing Products, car number 21.
Yeah, and keep an eye on that one. That young lady, we've been talking about her all season long, and she'll just get behind the wheel of anything and do extremely, extremely well in it. So there's your lineup right there. Probably one of our best fields, I think, so far this year in the Youth Hornet division. Looks good.
You're right, Steve. But for people who may be not familiar with the Youth Hornet class, most of these kids are under the age of 15. 12, 13, 14 years old, so they don't even have a license for the street, but they're out here doing a darn good job in race cars.
I think when I was 15, this is probably the last thing I probably would have been doing, but I'm so proud of these young ladies and gentlemen for being out here and doing a phenomenal job. Here we go. Green flag is out. Our flag man tonight, as he is all season long, the young John Peterson. So good to have John back up in the flag stand. As always, we are underway. Keegan Krager. And one of the things, and you're going to recognize a lot of the names, especially if you've been a fan of Evergreen Speedway for decades upon decades, is a lot of familiar names. Oh, look at that, the 72 right into the fence. Keegan, just as I talk about you, you go head first into the wall, but that seems to have been another trend this year. That
the curse of Steve Mortland comes out in lap 1 of the first event.
Don't bring that guy back next season. Right. We don't want him.
Or at least don't even mention my name,
yeah,
period.
He hurts us
I'm going
to
get a ticket on the way home because you mentioned my name.
Well, we'll hope Keegan gets that thing straightened back out and back underway. He looked really good on that first lap. So let's get back to it, and that is going to, looks like it will put Brooklyn Bender in the number 18 car on the front row. We did get 1 lap in, so they're going to count that. And then we'll go back to Dylan Frazier, Scarlett Fisher, and Annika Duncan in the 163 car. So these ladies and gentlemen are on our 5th mile flat track. We use this for the Youth Hornets. And we also it's fun when full-size bump-to-pass cars are on this thing, too. It's just they just get wailing on this thing. So here we go, back underway. Green flag back out.
It's Brooklyn Bender. She heads down the backstretch. As you said, the flat 1/5 mile racetrack. There they are 3 wide. It looks like they're going down I-5 right through Seattle, except only they're going way faster than you do when you go down I-5.
Yeah, that looked like the 48 car of Jackson Beckel really pinched the inside there and did quite well for himself as he moved up on that one. We see the 21 car of Haley Constance already moved up a ton here on lap 2. That young lady has, remember that name and cherish the chances we get to see her, because I think there's some big things in store for that young lady as her career advances down the road. We are working lap number 4 out of 20. You can see on your scoreboard up on the upper left part of your screen there. We'll have that all night long. See the lap times that these guys are turning. Nice shot of the 48 car of Jackson Beckel.
And you can see that 21 car of Haley Constance right there on the behind, working that outside of that group. And of course, as soon as I say that, she drops down to the inside. But you're right. And Brooklyn Bender, the daughter of John Bender.
Yeah.
John ran a number of, at the time that they called bombers, now street stocks, moved into the late models, had a very successful career. And I know he has been a huge instructor for this group of young kids in the Youth Hornet class.
Yeah, I am so proud of the job that John and his wife Amy have done to promote the Hornet division and really get behind the Youth Hornets. I mean, obviously Brooklyn leading the race, so she's got some of that gene pool that comes with a union like her mom and dad, but she swings out wide this time. Then look at Jackson Beckel trying to take his way down on the inside. Haley Constance lurking back behind there. Nice job, Brooklyn, as she just hangs on to the lead, but here comes Beckel.
But you know, a great job by Beckel. Instead of driving it in there and forcing his way through turn 3 and 4, backed out of it, gave her a little room, went down the front straightaway, set her up, made a nice clean pass. A lot of race car drivers could have learned from the move that Jackson Beckel just made on Brooklyn Bender.
Yeah, no kidding. And you know, how many times over the years have we said, you know, you do not win the last, you know, the race on the first couple of laps. And And good to see Jackson taking that to heart because he really did a nice job there. There's a good shot of Haley Constance. Moving up into the second spot, Jackson Beckel, I'm sorry, is taking her down to turn number 3, but even spacing in positions 1, 2, 3.
And I know I've said this before, Steve, but if you're interested in getting your son or daughter involved in the Youth Hornet class, contact someone here at the Speedway. Get set up with somebody, you know, like a John Bender, you know, Joe Constance, people like that. They'll help you. They'll steer you the right direction.
They will.
So you put your child in a good, safe race car. Also can give you some help because, you know, sometimes racing families have to start somewhere.
Right.
And this may be the year that they start, or in 2021. So please don't get scared off by the thought that you're going to get into something that maybe you don't know a lot about. They'll get you set up with somebody that will help you, walk you through, and make sure you get your son or daughter off to a great start.
Yeah, and each one of those people that Tom mentioned, you know, we were talking about them earlier, have got just gobs of experience behind the wheel of these type of cars. It's kind of where the bulk of them started off, was in a small car, fairly slow, but it taught them car control. It taught them to kind of listen to what the car is. I know it's an inanimate object, but it is truly trying to tell you what it wants.
Man, you know, when I was 12, 13, 14 years old, I would have traded my cat, my dog, my coaster cart, my bicycles, everything I had to get in a race car. So a great opportunity. And I know that a person like, you know, Joe Constance or Bender or Beckel or Riddell, they've had some great memories in racing, but what they're doing with their children right now puts a bigger smile on their face than probably anything they ever did in a race car.
Tell you, the key to Jackson Beckel's success right now is the way that thing goes into turn number 2, and it just hangs tight. As we've got a caution on the track. It looks like both the 18, there they are, the 18 and the 163 get together, Annika Duncan and Brooklyn Bender. So they are down with a couple of laps to go, but a pretty good race. I'm impressed with Beckel so far.
Yeah, and the two girls out there getting into each other and turning each other around. So
that'll happen.
Yeah,
that'll happen.
I've seen that happen at the shopping mall every once in a while. Different story.
Yeah, different story, different day. So we're going to take it back down to the track side. We've still got a couple more laps to go in our Youth Hornet A main event tonight, and we've got a lot of action coming from you from what turned out to be a fairly beautiful day before the wind started blowing and kind of got it all discombobulated environmentally around the Pacific Northwest. But these guys are out there just having a blast.
Well, and you know, they're learning things besides driving a race car, working on a race car, because they have to figure out how to get sponsors and take care of them. You know, you've got Garret Kramer, who has Classic Chiropractic of Snohomish, Annika Duncan with GDX Limited Liability Company, and Tri-City Roofing. So those people have gone out and actually probably helped procure those sponsors. They learn how to take care of them. They learn to do things like speaking in front of a group. And I promise you, when that grandstand's full and they stick that microphone in front of your face,
it makes a
that
big
tongue
difference.
sort of gets tied.
All right, here we go. A battle for the lead on lap number 18. Now we'll wrap that up right now, side by side. Jackson Beckel and Haley Constance going at it as they come out at turn number 2. Beckel on the inside. Haley got a bit of a shot on the outside, but man, I tell you, that 48 car of Jackson's is just tearing it up in the corners. Watch how he hugs that corner so low. And Haley gets into him just a little bit, but backs out. Good job, Haley.
Haley Constance just put a big old bruise right in that Joe's Racing Products decal. So here they come for the strike.
No.
And
there it is. Checkered flag. Jackson Beckel. Good job, Jackson.
Picking up his first win of his career.
Way to go.
This is something he'll never forget.
Yeah, we're going to bring him up to our Angel of the Winds victory podium. And like we were talking about at the opening of the show with incidents that happened in the Hornet B main event earlier, we kind of had to move some things around. But this time we'll bring him up to our Angel of the Winds platform, and Brandy Chavez will be getting together. And
all right, in third place tonight, we have the number 14 car of Garret Kramer. How did you manage all that traffic out there?
It was tough. There was a lot of traffic at the beginning, but it started to clear up at the end, and I was barely able to pass the the gray car. Yeah.
Who you want to thank tonight?
I'd like to thank my parents, my grandparents, and I'd like to have a shout out to all my sponsors: Reagan Earthworks, Classic Chiropractic, Steph's Machias Espresso, and Everett Steel.
All right, second place tonight in the Youth A main for Hornets, the number 21, Haley Constance. Now, you were all over Jackson's rear end there. What would you need to get past him?
He was really fast out there. I don't know if I could have got past him. I was trying everything. I gave it all I had, and he was just a little bit faster than I was. Maybe if I would have started more up front, then I could have got him, but congrats to him. He did a great job, and it was a really fun race.
And who you want to thank tonight?
Huge thanks to JBR for giving me an awesome car, DeYoung Inc. for all the awesome graphics on my suit and everything, my social media pit crew, Joe's Racing Products, Joe's Speed Shop, mytrafficman.net, and all my family and supporters.
All right, congratulations, Haley. All right, Jackson Beckel, number 46, on the podium for the second straight week. How were you able to hold off Haley Constance?
I don't really know. She's a tough competitor, really good racer, and I'm not going to say I had to block her, but kind of did have to block her there.
And who do you want to thank for your first place finish tonight?
JBR, my dad, my mom, everyone that just helps up on the car, Dave Riddell, yeah.
All right, congratulations, Jackson Beckel.